Now, we're watching wild badgers at Edinburgh Zoo, but the zoo also plays a vital role in helping to conserve some of the UK's most threatened species. And that includes a very rare gastropod found in only a handful of sites in the whole of the UK, and one of them is in the Pentland Hills. And the Pentland Hills, of course, is where the Water of Leith behind me here rises. Now, recently I went up to meet Dr. Helen Taylor to find out more.
This is the home of pond mud snails, which is a threatened species that we are currently caring for at the Royal Zoological Society of Scotland.
Now, to me, this looks like a long ditch going through a wet woodland.
Yes.
And I've seen lots of ditches in wet woodlands. So why aren't they more widespread then?
Pond mud snails are faced by similar challenges that are faced by invertebrates and other species the world over, which is habitat loss due to land use change. So ditches like this are being drained, they're also being polluted because the way we use the land is different now to how it was before. This is a preserved raised bog area. It's really important habitat for pond mud snails and lots of other species, and that's why they've been able to cling on in this area. And at the moment they'll be burrowed down into the mud, and they're so tiny, they're about the size of your fingernail.
We don't want to disturb the habitat here, so Helen is taking me to Edinburgh Zoo to meet Craig Close, who breeds the pond snails in a shed. And I can see one of the rare gastropods for myself. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
These are the pond mud snails that we've been telling you all about.
Ah, fantastic.
So this is one of our adults. This is about as big as they get.
So it's got like a world snail, isn't it?
Kind of like an ice cream cone,
Yeah, it is.
That's one of the features of them. They are quite elongated at the end and they've got that tip, whereas other snails are a bit more squished up, a bit more squat.
It's quite a beautiful colour as well.
It is. It's a lovely looking thing. And the aim then, Helen, must be to reintroduce them back into the wild when you've got enough here.
Yes, exactly. So what we're trying to do here is to breed as many pond mud snails as we can so that we can take them back out into the Pentlands and release them into numerous different ponds there, really spread the risk out. At the moment, they're just in that one pond, and if something happens to that pond, that could be catastrophic for that population.
And you two, you obviously think it's vitally important to focus on the little things, you know, the things that receive little attention, like these snails.
We're all about standing up for the little guys at RZSS. If you want to do reintroductions of big, fluffy, charismatic animals like wildcats and beavers, which are amazing, you need to look after these guys as well, because without them, the habitat and the ecosystem isn't there to reintroduce the big, fluffy animals into.
Wise words there from Helen. If we look after the little things, the big things will look after themselves, and that is quite true.